Hey folks, I'm Sir Vainglory, and having a quick look today at Attack at Dawn, North Africa, a new game that's come out from Panzer Division Games. I've seen it described by some people as an RTS, but it's definitely not that. You don't accumulate points and build up forces. To me, it's essentially a hex encounter wargame, and I like my wargames. So a nice picture of a Crusader tank on the loading screen. I would rather have seen a Matilda myself, the Queen of the Desert, but obviously the Crusader looks a bit sexier than the good old Matilda. So what I'm going to do is, I've already had a look at the first two tutorial scenarios. The final scenario seems to be not so much a tutorial as now apply what you've learned type scenario. So we're going to go ahead with this. We have to attack the German forces, or the Axis forces in El Alamein. We vastly outnumber them in terms of manpower, but they outnumber us in terms of tanks and anti-tank guns. So let's see, we have a day to complete this. Doesn't tell us what time it starts, but it's probably a dawn attack. Let's go ahead and see how we get on. So I'm really looking forward to this. I like the concepts. You can change the map view. You can change the strength of the hex sides. You can change the look of the map to suit your preference. Which is all good. You can change the counters. Let's have a closer look. So you can have just the typical wargame counter, or you can have little units. And I seem to be defaulting towards this look. I think it sits better with the actual, or it sits well with the gameplay. We can be turn-based mode or real-time mode, which I suppose is where people get RTS from. My preference is turn-based. It's a WeGo type game. We have two groups, as they term it. We've got the 7th Armoured Division, and we've got the 4th Indian Infantry Division at our disposal. We've also got, in our airfield, we've got two squadrons of bombers and one of recon aircraft. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see, can I change the scroll speed? That's already down at 1. Let's bring this down to... in fact, it's zoom speed that I'm after, isn't it? Put that back up. Something like that. We'll try that. Okay, that's a bit better. So, yes, our airfield's back here, but our supply comes from El Alamein, and I can't see it just now. I need to start the battle, but I'll show you the supply. I like how it's done in the game. Something else. Oh yes, our HQ unit. We can't see the HQ. But the HQ doesn't sit as a separate counter. It's part of one of your other units, which again is something that I quite like. It seems to work well in the game. So yeah, let's go ahead. These hexes are minefields, as you might have guessed. So you can enter the minefields and attack from them, but you suffer penalties. You can clear the minefields, and it takes a few hours to do that. So I think this hex here, or this, well actually any of those three, we can get 3 hex sides adjacent to, but I'm going to go for this one here. Yeah, we're going to attack into this hex. So let's redeploy our infantry off the road down here. We'll switch the recon cars and the tanks around. We'll bring up our anti-tank gun. Maybe I'll leave that up on the road. And our artillery, which I think has HQ attached. Oh, no, that's there. It says it right there. HQ. It's in there. down here, we can redeploy into any of the unshaded or the lighter areas. Let's bring you up to there. Okay. And we can start. It's 4:30 AM. And sunset is at 7:05 this evening. So hopefully we've got enough time. Right, so here we are. This is the supply, which I spoke earlier. So hit F2 brings up your supply view, and then if you hover over a unit, it shows where the supply, or how the supply gets there. We also have, if you look down at the bottom right, you've got an ETA and an RTT. So estimated time of arrival for the next supply is 2 hours, and it's 2 hours in between supplies. So the next one should be at 6:30, the one after that 8:30, etc. And that can vary. There we go. There's 3 hours and 4 hours down here. Obviously, the further you have to travel for El Haman with the supplies. And they're all coming along this main road. We can't see, obviously, the Axis supplies. So let's just go ahead and set up our attack. So as I said, we're going to go for this hex here. We can't see anything about the Axis forces just now, so let's get our 11th Hussars. And if we right click, we can draw a movement path for them. Do I want to go up there? Oh, I can't. Right, well I can go up, but I couldn't come back into that hex. So we'll just send the Hussars along in that sort of direction. That will probably take a couple of hours. Our infantry, we're going to move forward to begin clearing the hexes. So we can just single click and that will draw a movement path. Is that how I want to do this? Yes. Yes, it is. Right, I'll head up to there. No, you go up there. Pressing space shows you the movement paths. We'll have artillery move up to there. Anti-tank guns. We're going to have where are we going to have our tanks? Then we'll put the tanks down. Actually, I'm going to leave the tanks up here. We'll move them later. I think I'm going to swing the tanks, the anti-tank guns down to support this attack directly. But for now, we just have them all move up to there. You can have... No, actually, cancel that. This is anti-tank guns. Let's move them up here. The artillery has the HQ attached as we saw earlier, and you see here now the white flag designates the headquarters. The 8 is the range within which its units are deemed to be in command. The exception is the armoured cars, the recon units. They don't have a limit. They can roam all over the map, which is fairly accurate for the desert. So you're moving up there. We're going to move our HQ and the artillery up to here. The range of the artillery is given as 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. I could actually leave it where it is, but may as well move it at the start, prepare for our attack. So that's everyone set up. Now we will hit next turn. Oh no, we won't, because I want to get our recon mission out. Fly beyond El Alamein. Let's have a look around. Now we can move on. So the movement, people have said that it's a bit like EU4 or CK3. If you click on a unit, you can see its movement bar fill up. You've got the recon flight coming in. So yeah, I like this approach Makes it that bit different from your traditional hex encounter type of game. There we go. That was only a half-hour turn, and now moves on to hour-long turns. And we have scout cars here. We've got machine gun battalion there. Artillery, anti-tank. What do they have? Oh, we can't see what they have. It's not Flak 88s, I don't think. Another machine gun battalion back there, and 72 tanks as we saw earlier on. 5 Leichte Division. So we'll see how they get on. We have... Actually, let's have a look. I've forgotten. How do we get our OOB? There we go. So we've got the Royal Tank Regiment, but we can't actually see what type of equipment that we have. So I should get my book out and have a look. Stats is what we saw at the start of the screen. OOB we've looked at. No losses. Intel, actually. It's a reduced Panzer Division. Expect good infantry, some anti-tank guns, artillery, and a Panzer battalion. Okay. So you can't zoom in on that at all. It's an interesting approach. So yes, anyway, let's get back to this. So, now that we know we've got some recon troops in prepared positions here. So it doesn't change my approach at all. I'm going to have our armoured cars come right around to the rear. Let's do that, and we'll sit on their supply route, see if that provokes any sort of reaction from them. And we're not close enough to start clearing these minefields yet. I'm going to keep the artillery and the airstrikes until the actual attacks go in. So nothing else needs orders just now then. No, right, let's move on. I don't think you can queue up orders. It would be good if we could give this unit an order to start clearing a minefield once it arrived adjacent to it, but I don't think you can do that. I should maybe explore that. So the recon planes aren't finding anything else. You can see the extent of its vision. Germans have got some Stukas out on recon. So that all seems to be clear back there. We are just expected to take El Alamein, so they're probably not going to get any reinforcements, given that it's only a day long scenario. But so yeah, Axis forces pretty much as we were told to expect in our intel briefing. Okay, this unit here, we're going to have you you clear that minefield. Actually, let me try something. If we assign both, we've got two. You can see there that we've got two units can clear minefields. This in the scenario. If I click them both on the same, no, it doesn't. No. So I was hoping, or I wondered whether it might actually double the speed at which the minefield is cleared, but it's not. So I'm going to clear those two. And I'm going to leave this infantry where it is. And we'll, as I said, hold on to artillery and our air attacks. And just move on again. So you can just about hear some sound effects. I would like, to be honest, some music. Guessing these panzers are coming after our scout cars, which will not be a good thing. The numbers here is your attack value on the left. It's 3 attack against a soft target, 2 attack against hard, and Germans have 5 and 6. And we have, actually let's click on it and look at it down here. You've got your defence factor in there, and you've got your movement. And the movement, black is a motorised unit, red is a mechanised unit, and blue is foot. So, yeah, obviously the red here designates this as a motorised unit. Mechanised. Mechanised, yes. Even though it's a scout car, it's not tracked. Anyway, never mind. So, minefields both 25% cleared. That took an hour, so yeah, it should be 4 hours before the attack goes in. Let's have the... why can you not move? Oh, yes, you can. Right. We'll have you carry on along the road. Head up to about there and then circle back. I just want to see whether we can draw the panzers away from our attack. They moved in that 1 hex, then they didn't seem to be moving any further. Everyone down here stays as they are. Should I send a... We'll see what happens if we do draw those tanks out. I'm just going to actually throw a weight against the defenders. Anyway, let's move on. There is nothing really happening with the rest of their forces. It does look like they are staying put. Okay, so I think we do need to be in that hex if we're trying to cut their lines of supply. They're still there, okay. So can you get... You're not going to get back all the way up here, I don't think, by the end of the turn. Which is fine, actually. If you stopped here, it might prevent them from ordering the tanks out. Even if they're just sitting a bit further back behind El Alamein, it's useful to us. Okay, another 2 turns before we complete our mine clearing. Ah! Their artillery's moving out here. Nothing else seems to be. Let's see if we can't come and engage their artillery. If you head in there... Yeah. That would also be useful if we can engage them, prevent them bombarding us. Right, I don't want to bring our one artillery any further forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we don't need to. Right, that's fine. Let's move on again. And yeah, they're moving forward once again. They're still moving in there. Oh, we don't have sight up here. Presume that infantry machine gun battalion is still there. They're actually coming out. Oh, they were. So this, in terms of combat, this is the morale factors. So we're attacking with good morale, and they don't have quite as good morale. You can see that they've got 36 guns, we've got 684 soldiers. That would have started off at 690. Our morale is reducing. It reduces through combat. I don't think there's any way to improve morale. Okay, so just leave them there. Yeah, I'm just going to leave them to their business there. We can see that infantry is still up where it was. So these two brigades are going to continue clearing their minefields. What I'm going to do then is we'll bring both of these brigades forward, our Rajputana Rifles and our Cameron Highlanders. You can stay back here in reserve. Now let's move our tanks to here. No, you stay where you are, bring you down to there. There's no need to fly another recon mission just now. We've got good enough vision on the enemy. Let's move on again. The tanks are once again on the move. I haven't seen any German recon since the first turn. Have they stopped? It looks like it. The combat in here is still going well for us. We've taken out just the one gun, but we've now got an airstrike coming in. So we lost about 50 soldiers there. Nothing else happening here. 33 guns, we've got 690 troops there. They're not going to get in there this turn, which is fine, to be honest. Right, time to launch our attack. We'll have King's Royal Rifle Corps move up to there. The 2nd Rifle Brigade, let's split these units. 2nd Rifle Brigade up here, and then the Royal Tank Regiment in there, and our anti-tank guns, 3rd Royal Horse Artillery in there. You continue your move, you stay put. Let's get an artillery strike. Yeah, called in on there. And the same here. We've got 3 artillery strikes for each battery. Yeah, so you attack there. Let's get our bombers. Yeah, I'm just going to have one just now. I want to try and cycle the bombers in rather than bring them all in. I should maybe have done that with artillery too. Yeah, let's cancel that. Yeah, so rather than actually bombard them with everything we've got just now, I want to keep up pretty constant fire if we can manage it. Right, so everyone's moved there. Your morale is down at half. So let's break off this attack. And we'll bring you down to here for now. And move on. So there we go, the artillery is coming in. You can see that the unit is down in the bottom right. It's disorganised because it's under attack. There we go, everyone's in now. And here comes the airstrike. And there's another airstrike coming against our armoured cars. Okay, so they're losing soldiers at quite the rate. We are losing some, but not too much. Not lost any tanks. I wouldn't be surprised if these anti-tank guns moved forward. So everyone there continues that attack. The German morale is still good, unfortunately. Now we'll have you pick up the bombardment and back to our other bombers. We'll bring you in here. And let's bring in our recon. Since I've pulled the armoured cars back, let's get some vision on what's happening at the rear. I do expect their tanks will come forward as well. Morale here's down at 44. I don't know whether it has any real effect having them sitting on their lines of supply. But they're not going to actually take any part in the fighting here, probably anyway, so I think we will just send you back up to there. You might at least cause a nuisance even if you don't cut off supply. Right, we'll end the turn again. Let's have a look at these. So the morale's down to fair now, which is great. Here come their tanks. These guys have come forward as well. Is that one of the tanks that have gone up there? And they did bring their Panzer Abteilung in here. But interestingly, they're shooting at our infantry rather than our tanks. Okay, so if you look up at the top of the screen, you can see the attack against the defence. Second rifle against the 8th machine gun, morale 14, efficiency 100. Third Royal Horse Artillery, that's anti-tank guns. I think that -1 signifies anti-tank guns shooting at infantry. I know that I can set manual targets, but whether I could set, for example, the anti-tank guns to shoot at the tanks. I'm not so sure. Oh, but the tanks are behind. That's why they're not shooting at them. Okay. In here, the Recce troops morale continues to be fair. The guns haven't taken much damage at all yet. This artillery is still out here. Morale continues to drop back there because they're tiring with the movement. So continue again. I don't think I need a recon flight back in. We've got one bomber squadron reloading, another just returning from its mission. You're reloading, you can shoot again. And do I continue to hit these guys? I think we do. Keep them disorganised. And the maximum stack limit in a hex is 2. 2 units. I'm tempted to bring our 4th Battalion, the 7th Rajput Regiment around here, but then it would take fire from the artillery as well as potentially from here. I just wanted to put a bit more pressure on the 2nd Maschinengewehr Battalion. We'll leave them in reserve for now. How is our morale looking? It's still good there. The 2nd Rifle Brigade might actually need pulled out of there soon. And these guys are down 80 because they're being targeted by all of these units. Okay. Let's split these units. And 3rd Royal Horse Artillery, I want you to target in here. Hello? Try that again. Split you. Target. There. Right click. But let's unset that and we'll try it again. I don't know who you're targeting. Hopefully you'll shoot at the armoured cars. But anyway, let's move on again. Okay, the Iraqi troops' morale is low. So hopefully they'll rout soon. Our morale is plummeting. They're sending their tanks around towards our HQ, looking to cut off our supply maybe. But we need to take El Alamein. They're coming down for the HQ. Which will not be a good thing. Yeah, we're going to shoot over the site, open sights at the tanks. Okay, we've got routing happening here. We can't see the morale of the other, the anti-tank guns, but the Iraqi troops are pulling out. Down here, again we split, take that off, and we bring you back. Split. Bring you back in here. We'll split you as well. We'll bring our tanks in there too. They still get 72. They still have 72. Morale of the 2nd Rifle Brigade still okay for now. In here, yeah, it's not looking so good. But it's probably time to push in against these guys. So let's bring you up to there. And we can't attack in, we just need to sit there and shoot them. But what we can do, maybe, morale's gone back up to 40, so it did recover. It was at 39, I'm sure. You come in behind them, try and take some of the pressure off. And artillery wise, you're engaged so you can't shoot. You're reloading anyway. You can shoot. And I suppose we just continue to focus on that. Bombers are still reloading, so let's leave it as it is. Move on. Ah, these guys pulling out as well. They are. Taking artillery fire here. Slight panic when I saw this armoured unit coming in, but that's our armoured cars. You aren't moving. Where are you attacking? Here. And who's coming out? Why is the Rajput regiment coming out from there? I wanted you in there so that we could then push on to El Alamein. We've lost 4 tanks. We haven't lost any, but our HQ, well, I've still got 66 guns here. Let's check supply. We're still getting supply, but ETA has gone up to every 4 hours. Last supply is at 10:54. The next is due in a couple of hours. Okay, right. You get in there. You split. Try this again. Royal Horse Artillery, could you come out here, please? Right, no, split. Let's try select the 2nd Rifle Brigade. Could you move in there? Nope. Because you can't move from zone of control hex to zone of control hex. That's the problem before. Right. So if you come out into there, and you come out into there, you're heading in there already. These guys, morale's at 14. Let's pull you back and we'll put you up there instead. Let's try and bring you back and swing you around. To there. Right, so you're still reloading. We've got some bombers. Let's... We need to focus on taking El Alamein. So the bombers are going to attack there. Let's bring a recon flight in just because you still, in fact, you're engaged in there. And these guys, and they're pulling out. So if you can get in there and then attack them, please. That would be very useful. You have 1 attack left. Yeah, these guys definitely need to be out of there. The supply is down to a quarter, as well as their morale being down, so hopefully we can prevent them routing. I'm going to have to adjust the zoom and pan and scroll controls, I think. But for now, let's bash on. Okay. Morale here is way down. The morale's still good. I should maybe have had the planes attack tanks. But getting to attack El Alamein directly. They've been attacked again. What's your morale like? It's down, you might well break. We're now doing extremely well in here. Their morale's low. We could push them out. Still got 48 tanks. They've lost 12 tanks, 13 tanks. But our HQ is going to break. So let's have you pull out of there. Try and keep you alive. Let these guys take the strain. You Yeah, we need you in there to attack them. You're going to hopefully come in here now, if your morale holds up. These guys are still routing. They're a potential problem, I think. Do it, risk it. Let's split these guys up. You come across to there. You down to... Well, come this way. Try and keep them busy. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, because their morale is so low and they've got no supply, so scratch all of that. Backspace to cancel their unit orders, and again we'll just have you come around there. Morale is low. Morale here is fair. Morale here is fair. They're doing enough damage against them as it is, so I think we'll have the artillery focus on there, and our bombers. I really want to make certain of this. So, to get into El Alamein, we need one of these two units to break. Unless we bring the armoured cars in from the rear. Let's have the bombers attack the tanks. I think that would be probably what would happen in reality. We'll have you come out here instead. I'm banking on these guys breaking before you get in there and get your movement blocked. So, right, you're heading up there to attack them. You've got your fire orders. You're pulling out. You're engaged there. Right. Now let's move on to the next turn. Yeah, now the HQ did rout. And things don't look quite so good for us here now. But they've routed. Hopefully you're going to... I don't think you will actually move in. Next turn, maybe. Straight coming in. They lost 3 tanks, maybe, to that strike. Under fire from their artillery. Their morale's down to fair. There's fair. We can't... Oh, you're down to low morale. But someone in here has broken. 2nd Rifle Brigade, I should have checked the morale. They've been taking fire from up here too. Okay. Come into El Alamein. Your morale has improved slightly. They're at fair. I think they're both at low because these guys broke and left there. So so if you come out the minefield and head for El Alamein, you can stay where you are. We'll have you both head in there, try and engage them, and you stay on them. These guys are running, you are out of ammo now, you've got nothing left, we've got no airstrikes, so we move on. They've turned as well, they've not broken, but they're at least departing. And we've taken El Alamein. It's going to be a close run thing here. Mind you, now we've got the upper hand now, that we're no longer disorganised. Still get their artillery there, which is moving for some reason. I thought you were going to move out, but you're just attacking these guys, that's fine. See them off. Your morale's at 21, yours is at 105, you're still in good shape. Your morale's broken, which is a pity, given that you were up against routing troops. Right, so could you try and get into El Alamein as well then? These guys are held up there. Morale's low, so they'll probably break. You've got no ammo left, everyone else is routing. Yeah, you're not going to get in there. It seems to be that if you start off engaged with an enemy unit, even though it's routing, it cancels your move orders. Okay. Don't have any air missions. Let's move on. There they go. Not routing, but they might well route. I don't know if we get facing. Can we shoot them in the rear? But they've moved pretty damn quick. But they're not going to get back round and retake El Alamein before sunset. You've routed. I wondered where you were going. Another airstrike coming in. Looks like it's coming for this infantry here. Another, a recon mission. Lots of our troops routing, so we may have taken El Alamein, but if we hold it, we're holding it by the skin of our teeth. Okay. So, still need to concern ourselves with these guys. Let's bring... You both move in there. Let's bring you up here. You go in there too. Everyone here is routing. Yep. You're routing. You're morale 17. Okay. So if these guys break, I think that's the end of the scenario, although I've still got artillery somewhere around. Do I have a... damn. I was going to send the recon out to have a look for them. We've got 2 bomber missions left. Let's go after the tanks. And the last one we'll send after the artillery if we do manage to spot it. Okay, we'll move on. Well, actually, this is the last turn, I suppose. They're trying to re-engage. And they get there. No, they don't. Airstrike. I was going to say it didn't have the sense, but it doesn't just hit the one hex. It's a couple of hexes around. There's the artillery. And the screen darkens to indicate sunset, which is a feature that I think is quite nice. We still hold El Alamein. I don't think we're actually going to get another turn here. Let's bring in the bombers. Yeah, to attack. No, you need to actually assign a unit. So attack the artillery. You can turn and face these guys if they move in. You stay put there, you're moving there, everyone else is routing. Your morale is now at 20. Good. Let's move on. And night continues to fall and we won. So we lost 1,600 troops, they lost 1,100. 8 tanks, they lost 36. Yeah, tank and guns lost 3, 13 artillery. 11% significant losses. So it's a victory. It's not a fantastic victory, but never mind. Yeah, I think if they had sent their recce cars around to cut off our supply, I could have understood that, but sending the tanks out, although it was successful in terms of driving off our artillery and their HQ, it did really weaken their defensive position in El Alamein. So, anyway, that's the stats. Losses. So we didn't lose any actual units. Panzer Regiment lost one of its companies. So we go back to OOB, I think. Yeah, so you can see there, they lost one company from that regiment, or one battalion from that regiment. Those are all still in good shape. So if we're playing a campaign, interesting to see how that plays out. Good. So there we go. Quick look. Hope you've enjoyed that. Do enjoy the game. I expect I will come back with a campaign at some point. For now though, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave me a comment, rate the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and I hope to see you again next time. Cheers.